I saw this last night. Cenk posted, I agree with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy about the H-1B visas, but I love the rebellion against them because it shows that MAGA is thinking for itself. What is the thinking for themselves thought, Cenk? It's racism. I disagree with the right-wing populists because I think it's awesome that the most talented engineers across the world want to come here. And I think they make us stronger because we get to take the top talent of all the other countries. That's the great advantage of being in America. We shouldn't throw it away. The reason that top talent is coming to America, Cenk, and you should know this as someone with an immigrant background yourself, is because of the exchange rate. These are people who are working for lower pay, living in like destitute conditions, in shoebox apartments, sometimes, multiple people per room, for months or years at a time, so that they can send some money, less than what they should be making, but because the exchange rate is still a lot of money for their, for their families in their home countries. They're being exploited. I don't think, wow, the advantage of being America is that we can poach all the best talent from countries that we continue to fuck up. I don't think that's the argument you want to be making. I am a open borders lefty. I don't think borders should exist. I think if you want to come to America and work, citizenship, no citizenship, you should be able to. I think the only thing that maybe should be required is a mailing address, like a P.O. box. Top talent is afraid of staying anywhere that might get bombed by the USA too, or its allies. Yeah, it's actually pretty fucked up that we would, bomb the shit out of these places, destabilize, coup these countries, and then their top talent has to come to the country that did the bombing to be exploited. I think it's pretty fucked up. But this fight shows that MAGA is not a monolith, and that is a great thing. The not being a monolith is, to what degree are you racist? Are you racist and want to exploit immigrants and non-white people? Or are you racist and you don't even want to be near them? Vivek is right and wrong. He's right that we should celebrate nerds and people who work hard in school, but he's wrong that we need to put down anyone else in order to do that. I was both an honor student and a middle linebacker for our football team. There's nothing wrong with being a jock or a nerd, or both. I can't stand Laura Loomer. I think that her comments about Indians are awful, but I also think that she should be, don't think that she should be punished for her comments, blocked or unverified. Dog, she said that JD Vance's wife would make the White House smell like curry. It doesn't get much more racist than entering in smells. Yeah, which first of all, the White House smelling like curry is probably going to be an improvement, honestly, to the mothballs and, smell of war crimes. Let the marketplace of ideas sort this out. The forces of good don't need censors to help us. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, not only am I showing you this because it's relevant to the H-1B visa conversation, but also Matt Gaetz. Agree with him or disagree, Cenk is a must follow right now. So yesterday we went over the Mark Lamont Hill thing, at least a little bit of Mark Lamont Hill's discussion with Cenk. And it was very frustrating because a lot of it had to do with media, right? And not, Cenk's anti-immigrant, pro-cop, crime hysteria, transphobia, all the other issues, right? But then this came across my timeline. Cenk knows exactly what he's doing with his right-wing pivot. 4 years ago, he admitted that Tucker Carlson only invites progressive guests on his show who agree with him on air. He even accuses Tucker of trying to groom him into being a useful tool for right-wing propaganda.
Tucker even called me when I was running for Congress. I won't divulge anything that was in the private conversation, but I now realize, looking back at all the different solicitations and how they're like, oh, we could have you on air, we're gonna have you on air. Every time I clarified, I'm happy to go on air.
I knew here after I saw you in Angola. Okay.
And talk about the parts where we agree. I'm happy to talk about the parts where we disagree, but I will never not point out our disagreement, okay? And so they tried a couple times, etc., and then all of a sudden they stopped. Well, it turns out it's kind of a grooming process. And so they're like poking, prodding, cajoling, and I don't want to say seducing. That sounds too wrong in this context.
You already used all sorts of words that made me uncomfortable, so
I know, right? So might as well finish it. Anyway, come this way, we're gonna agree, etc. And then if you notice, even good progressives that go on air on Tucker's show, on Fox News, they almost never disagree. And so there'll be some Fox News programs where disagreement is allowed, or they'll have a Democratic consultant on. But 9 out of 10 times, it'll be to say, now, Republicans are, of course, right about everything, but we're so sorry for what we've done. So there's 1 or 2 guys that'll pipe up, and you'll be like, hey, look at that. It kind of somehow got on air on Fox News. But overall, they're trying to find people who will help them make their point without ever showing dissent on air. And so then you become a useful tool for their propaganda.
That's coming up.
And if you ever say to them at any point, yes, but I'm not going to agree with you on everything, they go, no, that's it. Don't put them on air.
Someone said, what's with all of these, like, you know, full-ass grown adult men saying that they were groomed by the right? I think it is perfectly valid to remind everyone that you are not immune to propaganda, that, you know, most people have a price. There are things that we can all fall for. In an age where the truth doesn't matter, only narrative does, falling for, you know, narrative is very easy. But I don't think that's the case here, because we'll watch the full thing, but I want to introduce you with this segment. I saw this last night. Franchesca Fiorentini must be so tired. What a complex and weird situation to navigate. Big respect to her interview with Cenk, especially for mentioning the union effort. And myself, this is Hank, who was one of the leaders in the unionization effort at TYT, which provokes a lot of pure disgust. Look at this.
It is concerning that there are so many former TYT employees, and let's put Doran Rubin aside, but people like Ben Dixon and Emma Vigland, and even longtime contributors.
He goes, don't put him in.
Vigland, and even longtime contributors who were editors, like Hank. I remember Hank, and like the fact that, you know, he helped start the TYT union and now has obviously
nothing.
Okay, but I knew Hank was such a great guy, and Emma and Ben are such. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, these are. But okay, how? I'm afraid, man. Like, I'm next. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. That I'm booted out of the castle, and suddenly it's us versus them, and so what does it say about?
Why is he laughing? It's not easy or even possible, really, to know exactly what's going on in someone's mind, right? I think a lot of what Cenk is doing is cope. I think a lot of his excuses are cope lying to himself, you know? People want to imagine that they're good people. It's hard to see something like this and not think that he's doing it on purpose, that he's trying to drive out every single person who wants to do good work that's still at TYT. It's real hard not to think that he's doing it like on purpose. If anyone wants to know why I was gone for so long, it's because I tried to unionize Chad and Graham kicked me out for it.
Who let you pass security, Nikilla? We took away your key card for a reason. Okay? Alright? You're not supposed to have access.
I hate saying this. I know. It's really unfortunate. You know, I think kind of like what Hassan was saying, it like makes me sad. I did.
TYT.
Son of a bitch.
What does it say about you? That there's so many former employees who are on our side ostensibly, who you have so much disdain for.
Yeah. Like, she's right. And him just the whole time.
And so what does it say about TYT? What does it say about you? That there's so many former employees who are on our side ostensibly, who you have so much disdain for.
She's right. I have a lot of respect for Franny. I always have, but like, to just in the most like soft way, in the most respectful way, dignified way, say it to his face. They're at 40K sub losses now. Someone posted in the Discord last night. Let's see, where was it? Yeah. This. TYT has 6 million subscribers. 54 people were watching. 54 on their YouTube channel. It's one thing to have fewer viewers on Twitch or, you know, Rumble or Kick or wherever they might be streaming. But your YouTube channel is your main channel. That's where your audience is. The YouTube channel had 54 viewers? how long into it was the stream? Damn, I mean, they're on the main segment, so it had to be like quite a little bit into it. Yeah, even in 2023, chat, that's not good. That's fallen the fuck off for a long time.